What's good, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of D&D After Hours. It's your girl Destiny Nathasia, and tonight I feel reflective, not sad, not mad, but just aware. Tonight's episode is called "The Version of Me They Still Think I Am," and this one is for anybody that's been growing, but the people around you are still talking to you like you're the same person from 2 to maybe 3 years ago. You ever have someone react to you and you're still sitting there thinking, do you even know me anymore? Like they're responding to the version of you that don't even exist today. They expect the same access, same reaction, same tolerance, same availability, and you're like, baby, look, I went through storms you didn't even notice. I had silent battles you didn't sit with me in. I healed in rooms where nobody clapped. But now, today, and forevermore, I'm different. Now it's you change type of vibe. Now it's, I don't even know who you are anymore. Oh, really? Okay. I remember a time when I used to answer every phone call, y'all. I used to reply back fast with text messages, be emotionally present when I was tired, and I mean tired as heck, y'all. Even when I was hurting, even when I didn't feel chosen, because I thought being good meant always being available. But now I take my time. Now I think before I respond. Now I protect my peace. I give people grace, y'all. And I mean, I done gave so many doggone people grace, y'all. But I had to take back what was mine. I had to take back what the enemy stole from me. And that's something that can't nobody else take away from me. All right. And some people really take that personal. They think it's an attitude. They think I'm being distant. And they think that it's an ego for real. When really, it's healing. Growth is weird because you feel it internally first, before the world even recognizes it. You start noticing that you don't argue the same, you don't beg the same, you don't chase the same, you don't even laugh at certain things the same anymore. That's how you know that growth is happening internally first. And the hardest part, people will try to remind you of who you used to be, like it was your permanent identity. Well, you used to, but you always, that's just how you are. And you sit there quietly thinking, no, that's who I was when I was surviving. That's who I was whenever I was on my 13th reason why. But you never noticed that. That's who I was when I was going through my trials and tribulations, but you wasn't there. That was who I was back then whenever all hell was kept breaking loose out here. But at the end of the day, I stood tall. That's whenever I was in a place where I wasn't as confident as I used to be. That's back then whenever I really needed more reassurance than ever before. I needed people to tell me that I was beautiful. I needed people to tell me, oh, Des, you looking good today. I needed people to do that. But that was your girl back then trying to survive, trying to find air whenever she was drowning. But there comes a moment in your life where you have to decide, am I going to keep performing my old self so people feel comfortable? Or am I going to become who I'm meant to be, even if they don't recognize me anymore? Because let's be real, y'all. Some people don't miss you. They miss the version of you that overgave. They miss the version that tolerated confusion. They miss the version that made them feel secure without knowing. They miss the version that made them feel secure without them having to grow. They miss the version of someone who was just like, oh, she's just going to say yes to everything. They miss the version of, she'll do whatever I tell her to do. She ain't going to say no to me. They miss the version of someone who was willing to go above and beyond, but could not do nothing for themselves. So tonight, I want you to sit with this and I want you to ask yourself these questions. Who still sees you through an outdated lens? Who still talks to you like you haven't matured? Who gets uncomfortable when you show boundaries? And the deeper question that I really want to ask you, are you shrinking yourself so people don't feel like they're losing you? I'm going to say it again for my peoples in the back that's not catching what I'm putting down. Are you shrinking yourself so people don't feel like they're losing you? Who still sees you through an outdated lens? Who still talks to you like you haven't matured? Like you haven't grown? Like they have not seen the change? Like they have not seen God in you working in mysterious ways, working behind the scenes, granting you blessings that nobody else could? Who still talks to you like you haven't matured? Who gets uncomfortable when you show boundaries? When you just like, yeah, nah, I'm not gonna drink. I don't do that anymore. Nah, I'm not gonna smoke. I don't do that anymore. Nah, I used to go to the club, but I don't do that anymore. Oh, partying? Nah, I don't do that. I do, other stuff. I listen to jazz music, or I go to, different events and stuff that don't really deal with a whole bunch of, drinking and all that type of stuff. Who gets uncomfortable whenever you show your boundaries? When you show that your standards have become higher and have exceeded more than anything, because first of all, you respect yourself, you respect others. And not only are you a representation of yourself, but you're a representation of others, including family, friends, businesses. Let's really talk about it, people. Sometimes God changes you quietly, not for an applause, not for validation, but for alignment. And when alignment starts happening, misalignment becomes loud. People start feeling unfamiliar. Conversations feel forced. Energies feel off. Not because you're better, but because you're different. Y'all, there have been times in my life where people thought that I was still the same person that I was back then. A little short story time. As some people know, Discord is now becoming a thing where we have a community of people, and everybody's in there, talking it up, getting new friendships and all that stuff like that. So y'all, when I first joined years ago, I had my little group of people, my home girls, whatever stuff like that. We was chilling, my home skillet biscuit type of vibe. Would do anything for them, and they would do just as much for me too. But it came to a point in time where after COVID happened, y'all, literally after COVID happened, mind y'all, whenever COVID happened, we had a whole lockdown and everything. So everybody was truly locked in with Discord over the summer and all this stuff like that. Like everybody was so locked in with Discord. Everybody would be in there. Everybody was so used to being on the phone all night long. We would literally sit up in there talking. Sometimes we don't talk. Sometimes we playing the game. Sometimes we watching a movie together. Probably TV shows. We doing everything else but what we supposed to be doing in the house sometimes. And my mama would come in the room. She'd be like, "You've been on this device all day. Go do something with your life." But it was just like at the end of the day, I enjoyed having that friendship and being able to talk to people and people understand what I go through. But after COVID went away, y'all, and people had to start going back to work, people had to start going back to school and stuff like that, I started traveling. I was on the road. I was just like, I ain't worried about none of this. Love y'all, but I'm getting my travel on. And that's whenever things started to change. People were coming to me and they was just like, Well, you don't ever call me no more like you used to, and you just seem like you just forgetting about people and stuff like that. And I have to sit back and be like, listen here, we're not in Discord anymore. I get it. Back then, we was on the phone every single day. We would talk on the phone. Out. We would literally get up in the morning, talk on the phone, probably go back to sleep. I probably go get something to eat. You probably end up getting something to eat. We be on there 24 hours a day. But it's different now. Well, I just feel like that you done changed and stuff, and you just don't care about nobody. You done up and went, and you becoming an influencer now and stuff like that, and da da da. So what's the real reason? What's the real reason? Because it's not that it's not only the fact that I've changed for the good. Hello, but what's the real reason as to why you feel some kind of way? Is it because you wanted the attention? Is it because every single time whenever I got on the phone with you, I was checking on you, making sure you was doing good? Was it the fact that I was catering to your feelings, catering to your needs? What was it? Let me know. And even then, some people couldn't even answer it. Some people, and then even whenever it got to that point where I was sitting over here, giving it out to these people, handing them they behind on a silver platter. Now you got it. You got it. No, don't tell me I got it. Let me know something that I don't know. Because if I decided to change, I changed for the good. I changed for the better. And honey, that was only through prayer and supplication. It was only through fasting. Because honey, I needed God more than anything in those moments. So if I did change, I changed because God decided to take the broken pieces of me that no one knew about, the silent battles that I faced that no one knew about, the trials and tribulations that nobody knew about, and decided to mold me into the great masterpiece that I am today. So excuse me if I changed. Excuse me if I don't call you or if I don't text you every day. Excuse me if I don't give you that attention that you're looking for. Because at this point, I'm choosing me for once in my life. That don't mean that I don't love you anymore or any less. But at the end of the day, would you rather me be in a place where these silent battles start to continue to build up, and then all of a sudden the last phone call that you get from me or the last text message that you get from me was literally the last time you ever spoke to me? Ask yourself that question. So listen, y'all. You are allowed to outgrow survival versions of yourself. You are allowed to become someone your past circle doesn't fully understand. You are allowed to change your mind, your habits, and your boundaries. And you do not owe the world a performance of who you used to be. This is D&D After Hours with your host, Destynee and Athasia, where we silence the noise, feel the truth, and heal our souls. I'll call y'all later, and you better answer. I love y'all. Good night.